Can you hear the sounds of the birds? Just stood here in the little porch, well, just outside of the porch with Jack, myself and Jack. We just stood here looking out and watching little butterflies, hearing the birds. It's so beautiful and tranquil at the moment. And I've got masses of things to show you, so walk with me. Now, first of all, the little birch trees and the cotoneaster by the front door have come into leaf. Bees are buzzing just about everywhere. I'm walking round the side here. We have the beautiful valerian opening up. Look at that. Pink flowers. And look at that. We have some clematis. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's opened up too. Over here, there's the beautiful Chinese forget-me-not. Euphorbia. And just along here, some more acrolegia. This is pink. This is the pink one. Isn't that gorgeous? Those are what I call heavyweight bees. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Just as I was filming. It was as though Mother Nature said, "Get over to that flower, Mrs. Bee. She's doing a shot." Isn't that beautiful? Ah, it's just so heartwarming. So heartwarming to see it. Little creature. And just up above, this is the Kanzan cherry. It doesn't actually fruit, it's a flowering cherry. It's a lovely shape. It's like a big parasol, like a big umbrella. Just go a little bit closer so you can see the flowers. That's just Jack running over the gravel towards me. Now, we'll walk on round. I had a little cutting from one of the rambling roses, and I put it in a pot and I grew it on, and then it was in a tire and it wasn't getting enough light, so I moved it just to the base of this purple beech tree, and it's coming on rather well. I'm hoping to get some roses of that this summer. Now, most of the little bird boxes and bird teapots have been occupied No evictions here at Bealtaine. So I see lots of birds flying to and fro. Some more Aqualegia, that's a lovely coral pink one. And then there's another one coming out there. And also, this is the pine. It was a sort of a pole pine, which would normally just grow very tall and very straight. But because I initially planted it in the wrong position, far too close to the beech tree that I don't want to curb, I had to make a decision either to move it or to try my hand at a sort of bonsai. So I went for the latter. So what I did, just try and get close here, I cut the leader out. Now you can see where all those multi-stems are coming up, where the leader was cut out. And each year since then, I've pruned it. And it's turned into, there you go, look, you can actually see it better from this side. And it's turned into this beautiful, sort of a shrubby, bonsai type, very interesting tree. Because it's not a shrub, it's got a great big long stem on it, you see. So at this time of year it gets a new growth, and can you see the pollen coming out there? Look at that, isn't that amazing? So each one of these, look, it's gone into the little web. Look, watch, I'll do it again. Do it up here, look. Like a smoke. It's getting over the lens a bit now. So I'll just pull back now so you can see it. So this is something that you can do with any tree that's getting kind of out of hand. I think the lens is still clean enough. Then here we have the Japanese quince. Finally got it tied up, so it's being supported, because it was just kind of growing out along the ground. And then the Senecio has turned into a massive shrub. This is the mother plant of all the Senecio here in the gardens. It's very, very easy to take cuttings from. You literally just take something like this. Okay, take that stem, and when you cut that off, all that will regrow. But these little bits, then you can just literally pull off, and you have what's called a heel cutting. And you clean off the lower leaves, and then you just put it straight into the ground or a pot, and it will root very rapidly. There's lots of pink Aqualegia there, and you can see where the birds have been sitting on Buddha, leaving him a little present. The wheelbarrow, the one that's all broken, which is over near the lodge, I harvested the kale from it, and I've moved it and I've replanted it with flowers. So here we have feverfew, Jacob's ladder, nasturtium, bronze fennel, evening primrose, and what are these called? Oh, look at that lovely little creature on there. Oh, sorry, little one. Let me just turn you back over again. They're a little bulb anyway. So I've been planting out. I've planted out lots of, I don't know what they are. because the label washed off. They look a bit like a cauliflower, but they could be a purple sprouting broccoli. There's some lettuce down there. Various flowers, including wallflowers. I've forgotten what that is. Over here, that's a pumpkin or courgette, I don't know. I just have to wait. It's kind of a bit more exciting for me, you know. Planting things that I've forgotten what they are and then waiting for them to fruit or flower and going, oh yes, of course, it was white borage. Yes, I think I remember that one. So if you have a look here just at how closely I plant. Now this is what all the bed's going to look like by about midsummer. So here we've got London Pride, chives, golden oregano in there, come up from a seed that was dropped, evening primrose, bulb fennel. What is this? I don't know. Looks a bit like a delphinium. I don't know. And further up, little cluster of kale. Little leeks in there. I don't know if you can see them. Courgettes. How do I know it's a courgette? Because look. Or as the Americans say, zucchini. Look at those lovely little leeks. Look how well they're doing. And I can't tell you how many times Sammy Bear has come on here and laid out on top of them. Now you can see the peas are doing well. Look, we've got some little flowers coming on them. And I've planted some stalks and flat parsley. And over here there's Russian kale and stalks. And I don't know, and more stalks, and I don't know, and I've forgotten the name of. But I don't need to remember all those names. I just enjoy them. These are my little peach trees, grown from peach seeds. Look, I would love to tell a lie and say, oh, you know, I bought organic peaches and then I saved the stones and I planted them in a little pot and I grew them on. But that's fibbing, okay? And I'm not a very good fibber because I'm a bit forgetful. Don't ever tell lies if your memory's poor. I'll tell you the truth. These two beautiful peach trees came up in the compost heap. So I thought, my big claim to fame. Peach trees growing in my compost heap in the west of Ireland. So, as you can see, I've, treated them well, planted them in. I planted them in there very specifically, by the way, and I must just say, over there, where I'm just pointing the camera, hidden amongst all the undergrowth, is the old septic tank. Now it still carries wastewater from the house, but as you know, I have a compost toilet. The pipe runs underneath the peach trees, and there's the cottage. So when there's a hard frost, the ground around the peach trees does not freeze, for obvious reasons. Over this way now, planted out lots more, I don't know what, they're edible somethings. You can see there's a lot of organic material there in the soil. My little nursery bed is looking quite professional. It looks like a little garden centre, doesn't it? Sammy Bear is there, hoping to see a rat. Because wherever you have hens, he knows I'm talking about him, you'll have rats because of the hen food. Sammy Bear is very adept at catching rats, and then he insists on bringing them to me, as though to say, here you go, Mum, this is how much I love you. I caught you some dinner. Oh, look at the bees, look at the bees. This is the Chinese forget-me-not. Now, I'm being really good about this year because so many people have asked me for the seeds of this, and I've said, sorry, can't save them. But look. See, because what happens, the seeds open up very quickly and drop. So it looks like we have some seeds there. What I'll have to do is just try to harvest as best I can, you know. So hopefully this year there will be seeds for those who want them. Planted lots more in this little bed. And there's some perennial, quite a lot of perennial things coming up, including that beautiful tall aqualature. So we'll go on through here. Now you can see as well, even though the Chinese forget-me-not has got a very long root, you can grow it in a pot, because look, there's a pot of it. Sammy, are you still sitting there with a hope and a dream? He says, don't you mock me. When I deliver dinner to you, you'll be thanking me then. He's very determined looking. Now, some people call this foxtails, and little wonder. These are the beautiful flowering heads of the sedge. And again, watch. Oh, look at that, the pollen, look. So I'm hoping as well to have some seeds of this. I did have seeds actually of this. And instead of advertising it on the site as sedge, I put it up with the generic name of foxtails, and nobody wanted it. Just have a close look at the actual flower. You see, it's just like a foxtail, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? And it grows in the, you know, grows in good conditions or bad conditions. It's clump forming. It's lovely if you've got a kind of an unruly border where there's lots of weeds and stuff. Just stick in a bit of sedge and it'll take over. I'm still filling the beds. You can see the calendulas come out there. Apple blossom. Look how quickly the mints come up. And my tunnel has turned into a jungle. It's a jungle. So I'm moving the plants out in 2s and 3s and getting them all planted, like I say, just in, you know, little hidden parts of the garden. Jack, come here. Oh, let me just show you what's happening here in the woodland. We've got this absolutely beautiful display of flowers, seedlings and nettles and docks and ferns and violets and primroses and dandelions. It's all happening. And celandines. Now I would go further down the gardens, but I've just come back from Inniskillen. One of my grandsons wanted to be dropped up there because he was catching the bus to Belfast. So that's a kind of like an hour's drive up and an hour's drive back. I'm a bit exhausted. I got in about 20 minutes ago. The garden always revives me though. When I come out onto the land, it's very uplifting. Now, that's one of the shrubs I cut back very, very hard over the winter. And you can see there's lots of new growth on it. So that's quite inspiring to see. Sometimes, you know, if the garden gets a little bit unruly, you can do stuff like that. You can cut things back really hard, and they will come back, and they'll come back with a vigour. But always feed them. It's very important. If you prune or you cut back hard, feed the plant. Give it the nourishment it needs to revive itself. Sammy's eating grass. Both cats and dogs like some, you know, there's a particular kind of grass that they like to eat. Now can you see how all the trees have come out in leaf? Isn't that lovely? And the pieris over there. It's looking beautiful. Of course the fact that we haven't had a hard frost in May has helped it. Because if we had had a hard frost, it would have just, you know, taken all that new growth back. Though we did have one in April, it did a little bit of damage then, but not too much. Here we have the first poppy. What do you think of that then? Isn't that beautiful? And over here, the first red poppy. Wow, it's more of a beautiful deep pink really. Look at the little bee on the reptins. And those are the peas. The peas and the cabbages. Well, there's cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli and kale in there. But they've actually caught hold of the netting now, which will be good. It'll give them a good incentive now to grow. And we've got flowers coming on them too. Been mowing the grass. No, this is definitely a seed that I'll be saving this year, because this is very much a bee-loved plant, and that's like the wild pea. It's called vetch, B-E-T-C-H. It's actually a beautiful little plant. I mean, look how beautiful it is there, just growing underneath the angel. So as you can tell from its position, it can take full sun, or it can take half shade, or even full shade, I'd expect. It doesn't get a lot of light there. Now, I hate to make you envious, but this is my fuchsia. It's as tall as the trees. This is a special fuchsia, okay? It's a very hardy one. It grows like a weed. In fact, it's beginning to flower. Can you see the little flower heads coming on it? And there's the aquiligia underneath. And there's the bees around the aquiligia. Purple beech, valerian, more reptans, wild rose, Rosa canina, ash tree, and the driveway now is almost completely obscured. You can no longer see the gate. So on that note, I shall bid you all adieu. Please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, Bealtaine Cottage, and please visit the website, which is free. It's the bealtainecottage.com website, and it has over 4,500 photographs, all taken here at Bealtaine Cottage over the past 12 years. And there's about 1,000 or more blogs on that website, many of which are very informative when it comes to permaculture, organic gardening,